Hello, welcome to the Redmen TV. It's daily news time once again. Apologies, we didn't do a daily news yesterday, but we're back and there's actually some news to talk about other than the Reds being absolutely mustard. So Thomas Lemar and Jorginho are expected to be the first two summer signings. I think everybody kind of knew that was going to be the case. This is from the Express anyway. Liverpool are reportedly expected to sign Monaco and Napoli players Thomas Lemar and Jorginho this summer. Liverpool have been tipped to sign Lemar and Jorginho this summer as Jurgen Klopp has a crack at the Premier League title next season. Oh yeah, I likes the sound of that one. Yesterday, reports claimed Liverpool had cooled their interest in Lemar, who was primed to leave Monaco. But the Mirror insists that's not the case, and the France international is expected to sign. Liverpool wanted Lemar in January, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, we've got a war chest. We've still got the Coutinho money burning a hole in Jurgen's arse pocket, although he seems like the kind of guy who isn't bothered by that. I can't have 20 quid in my back pocket without spending it, and Jurgen Klopp's essentially got 142 of the millions to spend. I mean, it's ridiculous, isn't it? You know, I went mental at the end of January, and looking back now, it looked like a ridiculous thing, and I'll happily hold my hands up and say I was completely and utterly wrong. For doubting Jurgen Klopp and for doubting what this man and this team of people, when they've signed players, has done. I mean, one thing that they have done is they've got a huge success rate on transfers so far. And if Jurgen Klopp ever says again, I'm not going to sign someone now, I'm going to wait, I'll be like, yeah, sounds, you go for it, mate. You absolutely do whatever you want to do because you're the man. What the frig do I know, basically? And if he wants Jorginho, I think he'll be a great fit. I think he's an improvement on Jordan Henderson in that like deep lying playmaker role. And if he wants Thomas Lemar, it wouldn't shock me if he was a little bit of a utility type player and we used him in central midfield and we used him on the wings as well. You know, me and Tom were having a chat about it earlier on, weren't we, Tom? And we were talking about how you thought that he's a very wide player, Tom, and you know, you wondered whether he'd fit into this Liverpool side and how he'd fit into this Liverpool side. But I suppose it's just a bit like horses for courses, and that's what Jurgen Klopp's been good at over the last sort of few months, is picking a team to pick apart another team. And you know, Thomas Lemar is an incredibly talented player with an incredible delivery of the ball, and you know, it looks like he's making noise now. That he came out a couple of weeks ago and said he was disappointed not to get to move to either Liverpool or Arsenal in the last transfer window and stuff. So yeah, I'd be very, very happy with both of those signings. I think there's still question marks about another centre-back. I think Matip and Lovren, especially Lovren, as good as his form's been this season, barring obviously the Tottenham game and maybe the Man United game and maybe a couple of others. Our win percentage is really good with Dejan Lovren, but for me, it's their injury problems which cause me issue, you know what I mean? It's like Dejan Lovren always seems to be in for a few weeks and then out. Reminded me of a certain song for Duncan Ferguson as I'm talking. If you remember the song, you'll know exactly what that is. My wife shouted at me for teaching Robin it. Robin's my kid, my daughter. Apparently it wasn't an appropriate song to be teaching a 1.5-year-old, but you know, she's got to learn about tampons at some point. Anywho, anything Liverpool tweeted. Nothing like a good like from a rumoured transfer target on a post linking you to Liverpool, #Jorginho. So basically this was an Instagram post saying like Liverpool target Jorginho would be a good fit for Liverpool, and look who liked it. Jorginho himself liked the post. I mean, if that doesn't tell you that he's coming to Liverpool straight away, I've no idea what is. How else the transfer rumours get started nowadays? I mean, Pogba happened, something like that, Aubameyang, something like that on social media as well. Very, very interesting stuff. One transfer rumour that's been put to bed by This Is Anfield, actually, why Liverpool fans can ignore links with Sevilla centre-back Clement Lenglet for now. The Sprite report surfacing this week linking Liverpool with Sevilla centre-half Wenger. They could be considered baseless at this stage. Baseless. I mean, it's a word that's not used very often, but it carries a little bit of gravitas when you use it in this type of an article. I really like that. We are likely to pursue another central defender in the summer, with Matip and Lovren both struggling for fitness, blah, blah, blah. Ragnar Klavan's going to turn 33. Joe Gomez is only 21. Spanish publication Sport reports on Monday afternoon Barcelona had already made contact with La Liga rivals over a possible 45 million move. Initial reports and Sports follow up on Tuesday morning tout Liverpool with a bid certain wires have been crossed. So there you go. Team Talk, a notoriously dubious source, related the Reds have been credited with an interest in Lenglet, which is likely stemmed from the Mail's speculative report back in November. Love the fact that they're basically poo-pooing transfer reports and other media companies, which I think is brilliant. Some positive news, I think. Adam Lallana is over in South Africa at the moment seeing a specialist about his injury, and he's optimistic of a return date inside the season before it ends, which will be really cool if we can get Adam Lallana back. But would you throw him into a crunch tie against Roma if you get him back in time for that? Would you throw... What's he got in his mouth there? Dummy.
It's like a bubble of spit, isn't it?
Ah, that's disgusting. Go away, Adam. That's not very nice, is it? Get yourself back to South Africa and sort yourself out. I think Lallana obviously wants to get into the World Cup squad and stuff and do little bits for England. I'm not really asked if he does that, to be perfectly honest with you. I just want him fit. And if he can play some type of a role if we need him, that would be great to have. Final story, Liverpool are guaranteed a massive €66 million windfall right before the summer. So let's just talk money 1 second. Like we've got 142 million there or thereabouts in Jurgen Zaha's pocket. Add another 66 of that. That is a proper war chest. We're in war chest territory now in the summer here, aren't we? Liverpool will have about 200 million plus, I guess, whatever we recoup from, ending Daniel Sturridge's contract and letting him go for free. Maybe a couple of million for Divock Origi. We're in war chest territory, lads and lasses. It doesn't matter. Interesting though, we broke it down. We actually talked about this on the podcast, which will be out later on today. Me and Paul talked about this, but Swiss Ramble, great Twitter follow on the financial side of football, has come out with the breakdown. English clubs Champions League revenue, Liverpool 66 million if we go out at the semi-final stage, Chelsea 64 million, Man City 62 million, Tottenham 60 million, Man United 39 million. You. Celtic at 32, and there's a little bit of a breakdown. I'm not going to go through it all here, but basically we get 66 million and I'm happy with that. Let's go to some YouTube comments. Tom, have you got anything for me to get us off the mark?
Yes, I do. So Connor Kelly gave us £2. Thank
Whoop.
you.
Thank you.
And said, yo Chris, what about the Vrij? Any news?
I think the Vrij, I think that's how you pronounce it. He's a great centre-back. I know he's a great centre-back because I've just signed him on Footy Manager on my Nintendo Switch, which was out this weekend. I also signed Timo Werner, and in my first game, the Vrij wasn't quite fit enough to play. I've been giving him 45 minutes in friendlies and stuff. But Timo Werner, hat-trick debut. I mean, what more can you want? And then he scored in my Champions League qualifier in the next one as well as a beat. Who did I beat in that one? I think it might have. I can't remember who I beat in that. They're basically not as good as Liverpool. So the Vrij is clearly a good defender. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you. I might have a little check at that now. I thought I seem to remember him. Let me just check. Dear Vrij, it's fucking hell. Autocorrect's a bag of balls, isn't it? Yeah, no idea what's going on with him. See, the interest seems to have cooled, doesn't it, really? Inter won't confirm deal for the Vrij has been agreed. So that was it. I think I'd heard that Inter was set to announce it, and that was back in the 23rd of March 2018. But Inter apparently haven't. Michael Ramos, what's your ideal centre-back signing this summer? Honestly, if the rumours about Alderweireld are true and he's not 100% happy at Tottenham because of the contract and stuff, and he wants to be paid like in the same wage bracket as someone like a Virgil van Dijk, I know he's I think he's 29, something like that. I'd be absolutely all over him because he's a quality centre-half. He knows this league. And viewers will know, listen, I used to watch so much European football. I just don't watch enough of it now to be able to give a solid answer, if I'm honest. Like, I do my research on Liverpool's targets and stuff, and I like the idea of the Vrij. But you know, and then there's still like Jonathan Tah over in the Bundesliga as well, who had a bit of a bounce back season after a poor one last season. You know, I like him. I think he's got the physical attributes that could do something really good in the Premier League. Other than that, I'm not 100% sure. Drunk enough. Being a lifetime fan of Liverpool while living in the USA, my last thing on my bucket list is to see a game at Anfield. Any tips to start on this dream? I just get yourself a membership for Liverpool Football Club. I think it's about 15-20 quid a year, and you get to be able to go and buy proper tickets and stuff. So you need to start there. And then if you do manage to get over, come over. Obviously, you want to experience a European atmosphere if we're in Europe, and you can do that. But seriously, soak up the atmosphere, soak up the city as well. I think for me, the places I'd go is the Park pub behind the Cop is absolutely bouncing. You get a proper sing-along, and if you don't know any of the songs, you'll learn the songs while you're in there before you get into the ground. I'd go to Home Baked, which is a community like start-up business. It's done by a lot of volunteers and stuff, and they sell the best pies around Anfield. You're supporting the community, all the money goes back into the community, so I'd go there. Then I'd go to the game, I'd take the tour in maybe of Anfield on the day or the day before, if that's at all a possibility. Come and do a fan cam with us. Obviously, go and get yourself into Pop World near what everyone's talking about afterwards and have just a good time and stuff, yeah. Conor Kelly says, yeah, Tar is prone. Fuck's sakes.
Talking about him being injury prone.
Oh, yeah.
I've got one for you, Chris.
Right.
Jordan Flanagan says, in the summer, if we don't spend 100 mil plus on one player, some people are going to lose their heads and forget people like Robertson was 8 million.
You're probably right, and you know, maybe I'd have been one of them before seeing what Jurgen's done over the last few months and that. You know, for some reason we do seem to equate spending big with success stories in the transfer market, but you can look around this league, going back to Fernando Torres signing for Chelsea for 50 million quid. You can look at Shevchenko moving to Chelsea for 50 million quid. You can look at Pogba. You know, there's so many big money signings that haven't worked, that it's not the be all and end all of life, is it? You know, it's about getting the right type of character, it's about getting the right type of person who's willing to learn, who's willing to improve, and who fits your system as well. And Jurgen Klopp and this team at Liverpool are great, and seemingly great at identifying these players and fitting them into the side. I mean, how many Arsenal fans said Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's crap? He's not. He was in the wrong team with the wrong manager, with the wrong players around him, and now he's in the right team with the right manager and the right players around him. Excuse me. And now you see what he can do, you know what I mean? And it's so mad, isn't it? Because Mo Salah is an unbelievable player, but yet he wasn't able to do it at Chelsea, and he wasn't given the opportunities to be able to go and do it. So a lot of it's about timing as well, isn't it? And the age of the player and stuff. So for me, you know, I won't lose my head about it. We shouldn't lose our head over it if he doesn't spend 100 million on a player. Know and remember that he bought Andrew Robertson in for 8 million. Know and remember that Matip was a free transfer and Klavan's done bits for us and was like 4 million quid. It doesn't matter to Jurgen Klopp if you're the right player, what the price is. And I think he's proved that because he understood also at the top end of the scale, Virgil van Dijk's the right player in 75 million. He went and blew that money on him because he knew that spending that on that person was worth it to Liverpool Football Club, and you can see now that it's paying dividends. One more for me, mate.
Yeah. Daniel Weiss says, we definitely need a spare quality attacker. We have got very luck with injuries so far this season, especially with Firmino.
Yeah, that's, you know, me and you were just talking about that in the car before, weren't we? We've been somewhere for the live stream on Thursday that we're doing Thursday night. And we were talking about, you know, that backup striker. And I think we hope that Dom Solanke's that guy. I think we hope that Danny Ings can be that guy. But if they go through a season, admittedly on low minutes, but without scoring a goal, you do have to question whether they are the right type of person. But again, if Klopp backs them, we saw, you know, Solanke stick a penalty away last night in the mini derby as well, didn't we? And a good performance by him by all accounts as well. I personally think we probably will need someone who's able to step in and fill in Bobby Firmino's boots, but how much do you have to spend for a backup striker? Because that's what he's going to be. But I don't think Jurgen Klopp will mind spending the right amount of big money on the right player, So, yeah, it's a difficult one. I think there are a few holes, but we're not talking massive holes in this squad anymore. You're talking maybe 2, maybe 3 players, and we could be title contenders. And let's not forget, as someone mentioned in the comments just a minute ago, we've still got Keita coming in, and Keita's absolutely tearing it up, and he could transform this Liverpool side on his own, judging by how he's playing over there in Germany. I can't wait to finish this season. I can't wait to see what's going to happen at the end of this season, and I cannot wait to see what's going to happen in the summer with this club and how we evolve and how we change this team and look to make a crack at the Premier League next season. It's a great time to be a Liverpool fan. It really, really is. And before I go, Just one little plug for the charity night that we're live streaming on Thursday. It's the 23 Foundation and the Firefighters charity coming together. All proceeds go to both charities and will be split 50-50. Jamie Carragher's 23 Foundation doing great work in and around the Liverpool area. He's got soccer schools, giving free lessons out to kids and all that type of stuff. They're getting like parks built and all this type of stuff. And then you've got the Firefighters charity, which is helping people recover from their life as a firefighter. And, these guys do an incredible job. And if we can help in a little bit and you guys have got a few pennies that you'll be able to and willing to share and to give to these charities, then please do get involved. We'll put a link in the description of the video and we'll maybe pin a comment as well. And yeah, get involved on the night. Jamie Carragher will be there talking probably about Istanbul and a few other Liverpool-related stories. We'll be live for that. Darren Farley will be there taking off Jamie Carragher. We've got Willie Miller, a Liverpool comedian as well. There's a choir. There's all kinds of stuff. It promises to be a great night. If you can join us on Thursday evening for this live stream, it'd be great. If you can spend a few of your hard-earned pennies in supporting these two great charities, that'd be amazing as well. Thank you so much for supporting the Redmen TV. Thanks for viewing this video. Thanks for liking this video if you have. If you haven't, do that now and I'll thank you too. Thank you. And we'll see you next time on the Redmen TV.